Hello, and welcome to the Inspired by Disney interview series, where we take a look at Disney fans across the globe and discover the many ways that Disney has made an impact on their daily lives, from lasting memories to how they dress to how they treat other people and see the world around them. I'm Thomas Fusilli, and I'm super excited to have with me today Geoffrey, the creator and figurehead behind Theme Park Millennial. He's one of my go-tos on Instagram for all things Disney, whether that be his experiences at the parks or his Disneybounding ideas, or simply shopping and style in general. Geoffrey, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
Before we get started, I need to tell you that when I started writing for WDW Magazine, you were one of the first people that I actually started to follow on Instagram. I had no idea how big this Disneyverse is. I had no idea what I was getting into. So I just typed into my search engine, who should I follow? Like who are the Disney influencers? Who needs to be like programmed in? And you showed up in pretty much every single one of them that I looked up. And I knew that not only did I have to follow you, but I knew that you had to be one of the first people I interviewed too. So I could put a name with the face and say, okay, this is real. This is awesome. So I am so grateful I get to be quote unquote face to face with you right now.
I love that. That makes me feel really good because sometimes, we like to blame the Instagram algorithm for not showing us and stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're doing something right if they're showing me in all these search results. That's awesome.
Yeah, but you're there and you're front and center. So it's good to see. It's good to see. You actually just got back from a recent trip to Disney.
I did. I was down at Disney World last weekend in January. So that was almost 2 weeks ago now, at the time of recording. So yeah, I was down there, pretty much did Epcot every single day with a little bit of Hollywood Studios. I was there for Festival of the Arts, my favorite festival ever. I have never missed a year of Festival of the Arts since they started it 5 years ago. I was local then and went for the first year, fell in love with it. It's changed a lot, but it's been really fun to see it evolve. And I'm so glad I was able to make it down for a quick weekend trip this year.
What's your favorite thing that you go to see? Are you there to focus on the art or the different stylings or the food or like what's your, is it everything? That's an easy answer, but
everything is the easy answer, probably also the right answer. But in a normal year, I would be going for the Disney Broadway series. They didn't do that this year, obviously, because performances, it was a lot. I really think they could have, and it would have gave Broadway actors and stars some work, like I wish they would have. But that is my favorite thing. I usually do the Broadway dinner package, get front row seats. Like I love seeing that. Like I love musicals. That's one of the things I talk about on my Instagram. But seeing that merge of Disney and Broadway at Epcot is beautiful. This year, the food really stepped it up. Like I said the other day on my page, like the food normally has a presentation heavy focus, and this year it was much more of a presentation, was still very much superb because food is art for this festival, and always, but this year it's really fun. But it also, they focus more on quality. Last year and a couple of years ago, I really felt like the presentation took precedence over some of that quality, and like it wasn't as good as it could have been because they were focused on let's do what looks good maybe and not always what's going to taste good. This year in 2020, I feel like, or 2021, let me not go back in time. Please, no.
You're forgiven. It's okay.
But this year in 2021, I feel like they really found the best of both components of that, of good presentation and good quality taste for food and drink. And it definitely stepped it up. Like I said, it's been fun to see it evolve and see them really get there. I also bought 2 pieces of art, so that was a big thing for me. So yes, in summation, everything.
I know. It's everything. Disney is everything, right? It's just you just go for the whole experience and you enjoy it. Epcot's one of my favorites too. It's always been one of those classic ones where you just go around and eat all around every pavilion, and you go and spend all your money, and you just don't care about getting back on the scale. You just go, right? And you smile, and you see everybody else doing it, and it feels good.
Scale, you don't check the bank account, you just go.
You're going for the experience. So whatever.
Yeah.
And you also, you said you did Epcot pretty much every day. You did Disney Springs too, right? So you focused House of Blues, was it?
Yeah, I went to House of Blues that Sunday night, was hosted there. Love their restaurant. I did their brunch back in the fall. Superb brunch, honestly. And then I was excited to try dinner, and dinner was just as good. Like probably could have made a meal off of just the appetizers we got alone for 4 people. 2 appetizers filled us up. Granted, we had ate all day at Epcot, so keep that in mind. Probably not what I would recommend if you're going to do a nice dinner at Disney Springs. Don't eat all day at Epcot first. Like, not the Epcot day. But oh my God, all of that food was just so good. I really like Disney Springs. I always say I want to spend more time there, and then I end up at the parks and doing other things, obviously. But like, there's so much to see there that like Disney Springs, it's a 5th park in my mind and a lot of people's mind. Like, you can just do so much to fill a day between shopping and the different experiences, or at least half a day. Like, easily get there 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon and stay there till midnight. Like,
yeah, and you got to go to the stands, right? You got to go to Ghirardelli's. You got to do it. You're from Indiana, born and raised, right?
Yep.
And now you've lived in Florida. You came back. I'm curious to know, when did the Disney love start for you? Like who in the family said, you know what, we're going to Disney? Like.
So there's a couple different points. I went to Disney as a toddler. Like, I vaguely remember like preschool, kindergarten age, going to Disney. So first of all, my family my family has always gone to Daytona Beach. Like, we had a family timeshare in Ormond Beach, like went there every year. We had a set week that we would always go when I was like a young kid. And so that's like an hour from Disney. And so when I was like preschool, kindergarten age, that was like the first trip that I know of anyway. Before then, maybe I went, I don't know. But went during that. The main thing I remember during that trip is riding the monorail. And I remember the monorail voiceover. I remember the monorail doors that I was fascinated with. And I was obsessed with the monorail. We went to Magic Kingdom because I have pictures with Mickey. I have pictures in the Magic Kingdom. Like, I've seen that I was there, but I don't remember that.
Right.
I literally do not remember meeting Mickey Mouse. And that should be what I remember as a kid, is this mouse thing greeting me. But I remember the monorail. And I think back, I'm like, yeah, everyone should have known then, when this kid is literally the most obsessed with the monorail. If that's the one thing he remembers, he's going to be a Disney like fan for the rest of his life. Okay. From there, I was obviously into Disney movies. Like, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up with Disney Renaissance, early 2000s Disney. Like, Disney Channel was like in its prime. Like, it was gold. Like, High School Musical came out when I was literally in 6th grade. So like, coming of age, entering high school, that was my idea of high school, was High School Musical. Not the best idea. Wouldn't recommend it to your kids. But grew up watching that. I had then another Disney trip when I was like middle school, entering high school age. We did like a month-long like summer vacation through Florida. Like, we went to Panama City, then we drove down to Tampa, over to Disney, and then like stayed at Fort Wilderness, like parked an RV there. Went over to Daytona, then saw the Pepsi 400 NASCAR race because that's what my family liked, and for some reason I liked it then too. Not so much anymore. Sorry.
It's okay. No one's judging. It's all good.
A full month family vacation, like middle school, high school. I don't really remember what year it was. And that trip, what I remember most is Animal Kingdom meeting Turk from Tarzan, because at that point he was out. And so I remember having a picture of them. I remember my exact outfit. Like, it wasn't anything special. Like, it wasn't Disneybounding or anything, but I just remember what I was wearing as a kid, as a like preteen, teenager, going to that, and like still thinking Disney was cool at that point. Again, preteen, teen should probably hate everything, but I love Disney, and I love this gorilla that I'm meeting in Animal Kingdom. Now, Animal Kingdom, not so much my favorite, but went then. After that, I didn't really go back in high school, in college, kind of doing my own thing. Still a big Disney fan. Hercules was my undergrad grad cap when I graduated. Fantasmic was my master's grad cap, but I went to grad school in Tampa. And so again, an hour away on the other coast now. Right. And that's when I got my annual pass my first year of grad school. Like, I moved down there in July of 2018. By the first weekend in August, which is the first time I got paid, I had an annual pass. Like, as soon as I had the money to put that down payment on an annual pass for the monthly payment plan, I'm like, I'm getting this Disney World annual pass. This is realistic for me. I can have a Walt Disney World annual pass. Like, this Indiana kid was like shocked. even still, sometimes I'm like, I live in Indiana and I have a Disney World pass and I can afford to go pre-pandemic times once a month. It's such a special thing. And so then I went for 2 years, like every weekend, multiple times a weekend. Like I would be writing a paper and a friend would call me and be like, hey, I'm going to Animal Kingdom. I'm going to Magic Kingdom. I'm going to Epcot today. You want to join me? I would literally ditch my paper halfway through for grad school and drive over to Orlando.
Yeah, because you're only an hour and 15 minutes away, right? You just hop on the highway and go.
I was at USF, which was like right on the interstate, right on the edge of Tampa. So I could do it an hour from my apartment to the Magic Kingdom parking lot from literally door to door. I could do it in an hour flat. If traffic conditions were right on I-4, which very rarely they were, but I did it a couple times, an hour flat, and I'm very proud of that.
I'm a little jealous that you were able to do that, but that's fine. It's okay.
Didn't happen very often.
No, especially with all that construction. So that wasn't real. So Disney, what is Disney to now?
Disney to me, the first word that comes to mind is escape, but it's so much more than that. Like when I go, I forget about the problems with work. I forget about the problems of the world. But it's so much more than that. Like it's almost healing. Like and it has become even more to the point that it's community. It is, when I say it is home, like Central Florida is still what I consider to be my home. Like I cheered for the Tampa Buccaneers in the Super Bowl this past weekend because I consider Tampa my home. Like that was like, I don't follow football. Like I really didn't care who won, but that was who I chose to root for and who I wanted to win because of that. And doing this Instagram thing, building this platform, being a part of this online community has made me feel even more of that. And it has really made me even more connected to Disney. Like the fact that I know every little detail of what the Disney parks announces and everything and all the news that drops, the fact that I know all of that, sometimes I have to remind myself that my friends here and my coworkers here don't know all these details. Like they don't know that this random food item just dropped at Magic Kingdom, or they don't know that Jungle Cruise is getting a renovation. They don't know these things. And I'm like, I wanted to talk about it with you too, but you don't know what I'm talking about. My bad. Let me hit you up and then we'll get there.
Okay. Yeah, and looking through your website, looking through your Instagram posts, like you're most comfortable when you're talking about all the fun stuff, like and you're Disney bounding and you're talking about food and you're doing live stories, like you're just in your element, right? And that smile is genuine, it's real, and it's observable. So it means a lot to us who follow you for that. So on your website, it says that you aim for a sporty style with a Disney twist for fashion. What is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, so part of it is just the style I've always had and being okay with that. So it'll kind of a complex answer. So I identify as gay for those watching that don't know me. When I first came out, I came out when I was in grad school, and part of my reason for being confident enough in coming out was the Disney community I found in that time, and the gay community I found in Tampa and Orlando. But when I came out, I found, okay, I was still dressing like a straight man, and I use quotes because there's no way to dress if you're gay or straight, but that was the stereotype. And I'm like, okay, I struggled to reinvent myself, and I came out on National Coming Out Day that year, and the next day I woke up, okay, what do I wear today? What do I wear to work? What do I wear to class? Now that people know I'm gay, now that I've come out and said this is who I am, I'm looking in my closet and I'm like, I don't like this. And so I struggled really for the next 3, 4, even up until like this most recent year, trying to define my style and figuring out what that looks like. I have always been in my big thing has been athleisure. Like I'm currently wearing a sweatshirt and joggers. Like that is my go-to. Literally this exact outfit has been on my Instagram feed like 3 or 4 times, and it's going to be on there 2 or 3 more times in the coming week. So by the time this airs, probably you'll see it there. But that's what I'm comfortable in, and that's kind of what I've defined it as. And so I've kind of made that my style of how can I take joggers, for example, or how can I take gym shorts, but pair it with a Disney shirt or a Disney sweatshirt or something that looks put together.
And when you go to Disney, no one's actually looking at anybody else, right? They're so caught up in everything about what's around them. Like
Right.
you have to be careful, like you have to be comfortable. You have to be free to do whatever because it's the experience of everything. As long as you have good kicks, right? As long as you have good shoes,
Oh yeah.
you're good, right? You also Disney bound occasionally, and I've never been able to do that. My wardrobe does not. I have dress clothes, like I have shirt and tie button downs, and I have my leisure wear casual. I don't have the in betweens. I don't have the variety to do that. I'm not very creative with my clothing either. It does have to match and accessorize, but I haven't been able to find that one thing that I could say, you know what? Oh, this is Eeyore, right? Like, or oh, this is Peter Pan, and I'd be stuck. So if you were to say to anybody that was thinking about getting into the Disney bounding thing, is there like a tried and true staple thing that they have to have in their wardrobe that would be universal that they can apply to different things?
I'm trying to think through like what I have in my closet and what I've done, but honestly, no. Like a lot of my Disney bounds have happened by accident or last minute. Like a challenge comes up on Instagram and I'm like, what can I do for this? Or how can I meet this character? And I happen to make it work. Or on the flip side, if it's not by accident or last minute, it is well planned in advance and I'm buying things. Like I'm ordering off Amazon or I'm like finding things at Goodwill or I'm finding things on clearance or I'm finding things somewhere where I'm like, let me piece this together and finding these different things from different places and how can I piece it there. I'll say a big piece of Disney bounding is the accessories, and I'm not great at that either because as a man that is sporty casual style, I don't have a lot of accessories. Right. I don't wear a watch. Like I don't do the jewelry. Like that's not my thing. And so I struggle with that piece, but for a lot of people, the accessories make it. Like you can do some of that business casual, some of that work attire, but then you put an accessory with it. Like you put a character necklace or a character bracelet or a bag, like lounge flies or like good character bags can really make a difference and help it. Like if you can get the right Snow White colors and an Apple purse or an Apple bag, you have a Snow White Disney bag.
Like, that would be cool.
You got the blue and yellow for Snow White color in your outfit, even if it's not the exact like pattern and layout, and an apple bag, any kind of apple, people are going to know that's Snow White. Like get the accessories or find the right bag if you have that, and then piece it together from there. Or just in general, start with one piece that you're like, this. Find that one thing that says this could be this character, whoever that is, even if it's not your favorite, not your ideal, and then you can piece it together. And then you've got an outfit, and then you might be able to take something else from that outfit and use it in a different character because I reuse a lot of pieces. Like I don't reuse the same outfit for every character, obviously, but I might use a shirt base it around a shirt for this character, but then I have this color pants or shorts that I can then use for this other character. Or this bag can be for both. Like an apple could probably also then be for like a Bambi character or some animal or something. Like, or if it's a poison apple, it could be another villain. Like find ways to make it work, or maybe the flip side is something else. Ways like that to kind of find one accessory or one piece article of clothing that you can base it around, build an outfit off that, and then find something in that to build your second one and go from there. I will say I've done more, and looking back, I've done more of the Disney cosplay or closet cosplay than I have at Disney bounding because I go more for like the obvious look, like this is the character and not the subtleness that is bounding. And I kind of like that more. So I will do more of the, let me build a specific outfit for this and let me build a specific costume for this because I want it to be that stand out, notice this is this character versus something that I would wear out on the street. And if you know, but not really, like I want you to know.
Well, I know that when we're done here, I'm going to go in my closet and I'm going to start playing around and seeing what works because I've always wanted to. And there's got to be something I have. I've got too much clothes to not have something match up. So.
Right. I have so many clothes in my closet. Or even just use a graphic t-shirt. Use a Disney shirt from a small shop or from Shop Disney or somewhere and say, okay, this shirt, like, it is very clearly themed to Rapunzel. Like, it has a Rapunzel quote, it has the lanterns on it. Find things that you can just wear that match that shirt, like it matches it color wise, even if it's not an exact bound, you still clearly got a Rapunzel look. And that's what I've done more of lately in the last couple months, rather than strict bounds or cosplays, is building full Disney style looks that a lot of people still consider it bounds. It still looks good. It's still, you're still going to turn ahead. You're still going to catch people's attention. And to me, like that's the same thing. Like, I would just as rather do that than anything else.
themeparkmillennial.com. Right? What are we going to see on that site when we go? Because everybody needs to see this site. You need to go click on it. You need to go hunt around. What do we need to know?
Yeah. So my website portion is very much still always a work in progress. I honestly haven't done as much with it as I want to. There's a few blog articles up there. I kind of use my blog as like the longer form stuff that is too long for an Instagram caption, because there is a limit on that, or where I can link to stuff or really give that in-depth guide to things. It's kind of my home base of where you can find my media kit. You can find more information about me. Eventually I want to use it to link to different outfits and just have like a whole database of all the Disney bounds, all the style stuff that I've done. Just really kind of that home base of, you see it on Instagram, you see it on TikTok, you see it somewhere, go to my website and then you see these things. That's very much still a work in progress and still kind of building that out. Right now it's definitely more of a kind of a landing page, kind of a home base, like I said, of you can then find my social media profile from it. You can find different links and blog posts that I might reference on Instagram, and find it from there.
Awesome. So readers, viewers, please go check out themeparkmillennial.com. Also, Instagram is probably the easiest place to go at themeparkmillennial. Geoffrey, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to meet up with me and to have a chat. Can't wait to see what's next from you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Awesome. Until next time, guys. Thanks so much.